Hey everyone, and welcome to the Soul Star Cafe. My name is Ruth Perkinson, and I'm glad you guys are here with me today to talk about psychic abilities. Every Thursday, I'm trying to just do a series on psychic abilities the next few months to help all of you begin to develop them when you connect to your higher self, when you connect to that beautiful light above your head. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about clairaudience. Clairaudience is that ability to have a mindful hearing. It's a mindful message that you actually hear in your mind. It's an internal message, an internal voice that you hear. Sometimes it can be an external voice that you hear, but by and large, it's an internal voice. And so, what will happen with me, for example, is that when I'm in with a session with a client, or I'm just sort of tuning in myself to get some answers about what I need to think about or say or do, sometimes I'll get a mindful audible, and that's clairaudience. And the clairaudience is always going to be helpful to you, supportive, steering you in the right direction. It's never going to give you a low vibration message or an anger message or a hateful message. It's always going to be in support of love and light and good direction. Clairsentience and clairaudience and clairvoyance, all these psychic abilities must be done in service of your development of your psychic abilities. And it has to come from a higher self, a higher knowing. When it comes from a lower vibration, it's not a psychic ability. It's just your lower vibration voice, the ego voice trying to interrupt you or bring you down or give you a doubtful message. That's not the right voice to listen to. The right voice to listen to is the one that's higher. It feels peaceful and joyful and good, and it's going to be super helpful for you. So you need to practice on yourself first with clairaudience. And then as you develop your psychic abilities, practice with someone else, or you can even practice with me. You're welcome to practice with me if you like. And then you can attune to that and see if it's spot on. Okay. So for me, a clairaudient message that I hear inside my mind comes in a series of threes. For me, as I've practiced this, I have to hear it one, two, three times very slowly to get the message because that's what's helpful for me personally. I have to hear it three times. And this is an ability that I've had to really work on, list my clairaudience. So that is a sort of an example or definition of what clairaudience can be for you. But the idea is that it's not my definition or my examples. It has to be your definition and your example. So take your power back, work with your higher self, and ask to work on the clairaudience, that mindful hearing. Okay, so an example of a mindful hearing could be you're in a situation and you're meditating and you just kind of hear this thoughtful voice come through that says, you might want to call XYZ person. And then it'll come again, call XYZ person. And then for me to truly trust it, I'll hear it a third time, call XYZ person. And then I'll say, okay. And then typically what I'll do is I will, after the meditation or after I call them a hit, I can go and call that person or I can even text that person. And if I don't want to do that, I can just talk to their higher self. I can just send the message to their higher self and say, hey, I'm thinking about you. And I'm thinking, I'm sending you that message of love and light or peace or healing. And that can be a good idea. Yesterday, I got a hit, sort of a clairaudient hit to send a little bit of money to a friend. I was like, oh, I'll just do that. That's easy. And so I heard it a few times. I got the hit. I trusted it, and then I did it. And so that was a really sweet thing to do, right? Okay, so clairaudience is that mindful hearing. You can hear it, and for me, it's one, two, three times, and then I follow the psychic ability. I follow it and then I let go. So just follow it and then let go. All right, so here at the end of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tune in to my higher self. I'm going to give you that demonstration. And oftentimes, spirit will access my body, and I'll start to use my system to sort of really tune in. And you can try this, use these hand signals to help you attune and align with your higher self. Your higher self is the expert, not the personality of Ruth, not the personality of you. It's the higher self is the expert. The higher self is your perfect teacher and it knows everything about you. And so we begin to really develop trust in that. So what I do is I'm just going to tune in and I'm going to get really quiet, take a breath, and I'm asking for my higher self to give me one, two, three, a clairaudient message for you for today. So give me one moment. Okay. So the message coming through, I heard it more than three times actually, and it almost came in like a circular audible. It was very sweet and kind. And I came in through this part of my system. And what I heard to tell you is that you are entitled to miracles. This is a lesson coming out of A Course in Miracles that I've been looking at in the last week or so. And the message is you are entitled to miracles. You, the listener, the watcher of this, are entitled to miracles. And so right now I'm hearing, tell them what a miracle is. Okay. So let me explain to you what a miracle is. A miracle is shifting your perception of yourself or someone else from judgment to non-judgment, from guilt to innocence. And it's a healing. It's a shift in your perception, your view of your brother or your sister, anyone out there in time and space, from holding them guilty to what they did or did not do. And then you free them of that guilt in your mind and you send them the thought of innocence and love, connecting to their spirit and their higher self. And that is a healing miracle when you're coming from your heart center to that being. A miracle is simply going from judgment to non-judgment. So look at your brothers and sisters, your parents, your siblings, your friends, your coworkers, and any guilt there in the subconscious mind, unconscious mind, even conscious mind, you want to absolutely shift and have a healing in your meditation from guilt to innocence. And then you match up with that with you, and that begins this beautiful circle of healing and atonement that's coming into you, into your heart and mind. And that heals not only your mind, but it can have a healing in your body. That's the effect of that. So anyway, Clairaudience here at the Soul Star Cafe. Everyone's got a table at the Soul Star Cafe, and we're really sharing our talents, our gifts, and our abilities in service of a beautiful spiritual exchange, creating a new educational paradigm on Earth as best we can, very grassroots, to help all beings level up on your ascension process. So thank you for listening today. Really appreciate that. And just play with that clairaudience, that mindful audible. And maybe it's three times, and then you'll just follow the guidance. It's very simple. And just play with it and practice with it while you're upgrading on your psychic abilities. All right. Thank you so much for listening today, and I will see all of you very soon on the next video. Give me a moment to find this beautiful stop button here. God bless you.